Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhamad Hilal, and now I will go to explain about analysis film. The film entitled Mencuri Raden Saleh is an Indonesian robbery action drama film in 2022, directed by Angga Dwi Masa Songko. This film tells the story of the biggest heist of the century, just counting the days before the date of his execution. The gang is complete and ready to carry out a mission to steal the painting of the maestro Raden Saleh and tell the arrest of Diponegoro. Counterfeiting, hacking, fighting, and manipulation take place in a premeditated heist run by a group of young amateurs. Okay, now introduction. In the modern era, the film has become one of the works of art that has a considerable influence on people's life. The film has become a work of art that is very interesting in various circles, ranging from children and teenagers to adults. Over time, the world of cinema continues to develop with a very significant process and make it part of the needs of modern society. The appearance of the film Mencuri Raden Saleh in the midst of society began to become a very interesting spectacle, making many screen viewers enthusiastic in welcoming and watching the film with various storylines that were very slick to watch. Uh, it has become a common understanding that stealing or taking what is not their right is a bad act. In addition to harming others, this action, of course, violates the rules, norms, and even applicable laws. Whatever the reason, it cannot be justified, and the perpetrator must certainly accept the consequence of what he has done. At least, this is what we can learn from the Indonesian blockbuster film entitled Mencuri Raden Saleh. It is said in this film, Pico, played by Iqbal Ramadan, who is a fine art student at a university, faced a big challenge. Uh, challenge. Pico, who daily makes a living by falsifying paintings by famous figure in order to free his father from prison. 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 Gets a big offer to steal a painting made by the great Indonesian maestro Raden Saleh. Of course, it is not easy job. Moreover, that the painting is in the state palace, and of course has strict security and protection. In fact, Pico realized the difficulty of carrying out this action. However, after much deliberation, he decided to go ahead and accept the offer he was given. According to the plan, Pico then formed a team consisting of people who have advantage in their respective fields. They are Ucup, who is a reliable hacker, played by Angga Yunanda; Sarah, who is a martial art athlete, played by Agni Hakyu; Gofar, who is a mechanic, played by Umay Sahab; Tuk Tuk, who is never afraid because he is a wild racer, played by Ari Irham; and Fela, a college bookie, played by Rachel Amanda. The six of them tried to form a solid team, but unfortunately, in the series of plans they carry out, it turns out that there are many obstacles that have the potential to damage valuable things in their life, such as friendship, love, and their family personal life. What's more, the six of them also didn't realize too that there was a big threat lurking behind them, behind the theft of the painting they did. I can now move to research question. What is the reason behind Pico, Ucup, Sarah, Tuk Tuk, Gofar, and Fela dare to take the risk of stealing the original Raden Saleh painting? Uh, how can students who still have limited space to move? actually get a mandate of mission from the former vice president, which requires them to change professions to become agents who in a short time have to exchange interred paintings that were originally made replicas that are almost exactly the same as the original paintings and stored in the presidential palace by relying on a lot of tactics, technology, time, and cooperation, coup- coupled with the demands that require them to do so. It creates the power to comply with the president's wishes. Leaving aside the word criminality that will be encountered for all students who take part in the mission. Behind that is it turns out that there is a tribe they recave in order to save the life of parents from Pico. A noble goal, but still in the process a bit of messing up criminal acts in order to complete the mission. It's not about crime that the writer wants to highlight, however, about the sacrifice of a child to his parent, at the same time boasting the thought the student cannot be ruled out in the cyclist. The ideas and technologies the master can be easily implemented and realize if they are given the space and time to profit. This is the forerunner the, to the success of these five students in carrying out their mission. Okay, now we move to previously in studies. The research problem must be based on the question asked to obtain answer through the research process. Research question can be different from the questions asked by lecturer or readers of this film review. Question regarding to research process should be clearly stated. Most importantly, the answer given to question from the research process must be theoretical or practical. And the themes Mencuri Raden Saleh is a film that successfully applies a theme that is rarely found in various film production in Indonesia. Films with the theme of his or robbery are films that are rarely made by production houses in Indonesia. Even if there is, it is rarely heard to the film has entered the ranks of successful films in the market. However, recently one of the Indonesian production house, Visinema Picture, worked on a film with the theme Mencuri Raden Saleh. Before being before being screened in full on August 25, 2022, this film has become a hot topic of conversation on social media, both among film lovers and young people. How not? This film brings together young Indonesian actors who are at the peak of their careers in one frame. Mencuri Raden Saleh also slightly raises the story and value of the struggle behind the painting. This should be appreciated because it contains an educational value for the audience. That's why this film can be seen to be successful as a form of respect for Raden Saleh's work so that it can be easily remembered by the people of Indonesia. Okay, now we have to move research methods. Uh, Again, in this film, review process is carried out using the qualitative analysis method, which refers to a type of analysis that is more in depth and focus on media products and can be used to relate it to the social and real world perspective of the people who create it. The majority of goods, graphic, symbol, picture, and trends are commercial and consumer goods. Okay, an analysis. The film Mencuri Raden Saleh starts the story very slowly. The stage of aspiration are still friendly enough to instill set up after set up even though there is a little blur in the flashback presentation. However, this is felt to be just an intentional thing which only requires a little habituation. Habituation. The rest in the first two halves of the film. This film never catches to amazes the audience with the scenes from the actor. This film manages to present a line of character their who with their expertise manage to bring the entire audience into every dialogue that is delivered naturally. The golden moment in this film is none other than the third act, which is full of intelligent and layered plot twists. The drawback of this film is the weakness of the suspension aspect in the second half of the beginning of the film so that the audience can feel the tension scenes experienced by each character. However, the overall film is considered to have been very good in execution in the final result. You could say this film can be categorized as a film with the most astonishing plot twist throughout 2022. The excellent execution of everyone who took part in the film production process, Mencuri Raden Saleh. And the last conclusion, this story film is a type of work of art that continues to develop from time to time. The film's Mencuri Raden Saleh itself contains elements of a film with nuances of death, drama, and crime, which is made with a different film atmosphere so that it becomes more valuable than the storyline in the film, and this make the public very enthusiastic in welcoming and watching film in this new genre, even from teenagers to adults and parents love the presence of this film. Okay, maybe enough for me. Okay, thank you.